Hi, I'm Jacqui Tricarico on location at the NJEA convention here in Atlantic City. I'm so pleased to be joined now by two Montgomery High School students, Stella Cunha and Anuvaa Shah. So great to have you both with us.
Thank you. Thank you. I know.
Well, this morning you were part of a panel discussion here with the keynote address, who was Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala Yousafzai. For people who don't know, Malala is, when she was a young girl, she was shot in Pakistan for speaking up for girls' rights for an education. And she's been doing lots of press lately. We've seen her kind of all over the place promoting a new book, but she's really such a bold, known global activist. I want to start with you, Stella. When were you introduced to Malala's story and what kind of resonated with you?
I started following her story when I was like probably 7 or 8 years old. My mom bought her book, I Am Malala, and I read it in like a couple days. And I've just always been super passionate about civil rights and stuff, and I found it really amazing and encouraging that there was a woman or a girl at that time who was only 11 years old and was going through like a terrible attack and something that no one ever should, but she found so much strength through it. And ever since then, I've just been a huge fan of hers and admire her. So.
Anuvaa, you both were selected to be part of this panel. I mean, that's a huge honor. Why were you and how were you selected? Who introduced you to this?
Yeah, so we were both in Miss Stephanie Lockenhauer's classes at one point during our middle school years. So Miss Lockenhauer actually reached out to us saying, like, I have this amazing opportunity. You'll have to apply for it. But if you're interested, like, I can definitely get you all set out. So we had to send in like our bios, our headshots, and like a little bit about ourselves, so like an informal resume almost. And then we found out we were selected about a month later.
That's incredible. Stephanie Lockenhauer was actually the last year New Jersey State Teacher of the Year, Montgomery teacher. She's really doing amazing things. Stella, tell me about your experience today up on that stage. I poked my head in. There were so many people in the crowd. Was that overwhelming?
It was definitely overwhelming. I've done public speaking for like student government and stuff, but that's just like in front of the school with like people I know. But it was a little nerve-wracking, but I think I got adjusted well.
Yeah. What was the most important question that you had that you wanted to ask her?
I really wanted to focus on advice because I think right now, especially with the state of our government and our country and our world, I think there's so much chaos and controversy surrounding difference of opinions and just everything recently. So the most important question to me was when I asked her how she found strength to move through such a tremendous part of her life and like where she found that strength. And she had told me that just like love and kindness wins over anything else. And I think that really resonated with me because that's something that's extremely overlooked, especially in politics and all of this stuff. And it was really special.
It was a beautiful message. What about for you, Anuvaa?
For me, I think a big question that I wanted to ask her was about her storytelling, especially because I feel like as youth, like Stella said, we're often, maybe not taken as seriously because, we're still in those teenage years, we're transitional. Our frontal lobes are still developing, all of that stuff. So I think like as kids, we're always told, oh, like it's a story, it's a fable, it's a myth. And I think she really used that. Like it was her story, it was her life. And she started out storytelling and then like, look where she is now. We're interviewing her on a massive stage. It was incredible.
Stella, I know part of what you're advocating for is mental health of your peers. And that's something that we hear a lot about now because it is more at the forefront for so many educators and people like the NJEA. There's a whole area here all about mental health for youth. How are you making sure or just working towards making sure in your school that mental health is at the forefront for your friends and peers?
Yes. So outside of school, I'm a part of Montgomery's Youth Action Board, actually led by Ms. Lockenhauer. And we work directly aside our municipal alliance. So we do like tables at many events. We do like the color runs in our town we have tables at. And we are primarily on social media because we've realized that that's how we kind of connect with our youth the most. And I think just ending the stigma and making it more of a casual thing. Like mental health is real and everybody goes through it. I mean, like I was like shaking today. Like it's real and it's common. And I think just ending the stigma about it through social media for my peers has been really, really special to me.
Anuvaa, for you, how are you going to use this experience for your own activism? Tell us what you're really focusing on right now.
So for me, I really do want to go into international law. That's something I've been like pretty much set on. I've always wanted to, go to the United Nations, speak to people. And for me, I think this was really like this is my stepping stone. Like this is what got me here, and now I'm going to use her story. I'm going to start building up, my resume, myself, honestly, my character, and just getting far.
How proud are your parents of you? I met them earlier. Tell me about your family dynamic and just how proud your parents are of you.
So I have a twin brother. His name is Santino. And then I have my mom, Glenda, and my dad, Bruno. And my family, like, they're just my best friends. They've been there for me through everything. Like I said, my mom's the one who bought me Malala's book in the first place. They're just my biggest supporters. And not just that, like, they're my best friends. I tell my parents everything. I'm also really close with my grandparents, so they're some of my biggest supporters. They were texting me all day. So yeah.
Yeah, family's just so important. What about for you, Anuvaa? Because I know you are a first-generation U.S. citizen, correct?
Yes, I am.
So tell me how that kind of plays into this overall experience for you.
I think a big thing for me is like my parents coming from India here and like starting over. That really did give me like a sense of I need to succeed and I need to do well for them, for myself, like to end the stigma around what immigrants do and why we are here. Like they're here to build a life for themselves, and they've given me so many opportunities that I want to give back to them and like build myself up in the process.
What's next for you, Stella? What do you envision for the next couple of years? Because you're both juniors, college is on the horizon. What's your biggest goal?
I really want to go into political science, and I'd like to be in politics and government. And I definitely want to study abroad, because with our Belize trip a couple years ago, like I realized that seeing the difference of cultures has been able to make me learn the best. And like Malala today, like I'm from Hispanic and Portuguese descent, and I think that like the difference of cultures is really amazing. And I think that's how we kind of are able to grow as a community in a world. So.
Yeah, and what's next for you, Anuvaa? What are your plans?
Eventually, so obviously I want to do undergraduate, I want to get my master's. I do want to continue my education almost as far as I can. I do want to go to law school. That's something that's like really big for me. I definitely want to go to law school.
Practice what kind of law?
I'm actually debating. So far I've been set on international law, but I also learned about corporate law recently from an like international perspective, which I think would be really cool. And same, I like need to study abroad. Like for me, that has to happen at least once.
I could see that happening because you've already done that trip to Belize with Stephanie Lachenauer. I'm sure that like, put the bug in you to want to travel and see so many places. Well, we can't wait to see what you both do next. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today about your experience here today with Malala and with the NJEA convention. Great to have you both with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll be right back after this.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by NJM Insurance Group, NJ Best, New Jersey's 529 College Savings Plan, Stockton University, Hackensack Meridian Health, PSEG Foundation, the Turrell Fund, a foundation serving children, Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, Delta Dental of New Jersey, and by the Fidelco Group. Promotional support provided by NJBIA and by Insider NJ.
A cancer diagnosis changes everything.
So does where you go for treatment.
Where other cancer centers offer radiation, at Hackensack Meridian John Theurer Cancer Center, we're utilizing the world's most advanced precision radiotherapy
that can pinpoint and destroy your cancer.
Some perform clinical trials, but we have one of the nation's most rapidly growing drug discovery programs.
Providing hope with the medicine of tomorrow.
New Jersey's best cancer center. Know the difference.